not.
You pressed play and then left me. You pressed play and then left me.
I did.
Hello, friends.
I pressed play.
Good morning. Happy Friday morning, except to our friends Julie and Mark who watch this on the next day. And so I don't know if it's Saturday. I don't know if you're going to watch this on Saturday
it's like
or maybe they watch it on Monday. I'm not sure.
They live in a different country.
Julie, do you watch this on Saturday or will you watch it on Monday? She'll comment. And she'll message me when she watches it.
Did you know that there's people that have already lived Friday? That blows my mind sometimes.
I know. My brother is right now in China and it is 9 p.m.
Tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight. It's Friday night.
Crazy how this round earth.
I felt really bad when I wished him a happy birthday when I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, he's going to bed. But
happens.
He said, oh, okay.
It is chilly in here. I'm hungry.
He was celebrated. He said his friends delivered a cake to his door. And I was like, oh, but real cake or Chinese cake? Because that's a really big difference.
It's a big difference.
He said a real cake. It's hard to find.
It is hard to find. I have not had. Yeah, it's just. I love the Asian food, but when it comes to desserts, they just have not nailed it.
Maybe they just have like a different love of desserts. Have you found an Asian dessert that you like?
Yeah, give me your favorite Asian dessert. Like
we could be Vietnamese. It could be, I think, Japanese. There's some good.
We had a dessert drink called chendol, and it was kind of like bubble tea with coconut and stuff. But it was like the dessert that they had was in a banana leaf, and it was a pack of rice with a brown sugar cube in the middle, like sugar cane.
Was it fried?
No, it was steamed in a banana leaf.
Steamed in a banana leaf.
It's just not good. But our friends in the Lebanon, they make great stuff. In even India, they have their little syrupy stuff.
Maybe there are some really delicious desserts that just haven't made it from the country of origin to like the North Americanized version, right? Because when you go to a Chinese restaurant here, you're not really getting Chinese food.
No, it's true. What's your favorite Asian dessert, if there is such a thing? I think some of the best food in the world comes out of Lebanon. Like I've had some real Lebanese food, and it's incredible what they do culinary wise.
A joy to get invited to a wedding that is of a different culture.
It is.
And I would say like any culture, like if you are not of North American culture and you are hosting a wedding,
any wedding that
you're doing it, you're going to do it.
We've been to weddings where it's Canadian and there's hog roasts and there's, brisket and there's, roasted chicken or smoked.
Yeah. The hog roast was a good,
the hog roast.
That was a good wedding.
So I think weddings, people go all out. All out.
Some weddings we didn't.
Some wedding. No, I think we got married at the Mill restaurant back then. Now it's a brewery. How fitting.
How ironic. That is irony. There's no better definition of irony.
You know what's real?
That I married you, who I had to pick up from the bar at 4 a.m. I was pretty sure you weren't showing up for our wedding day.
Hi, Megan.
And I picked you up from the bar at 4 a.m. and still walked down the aisle. I don't know what I was thinking. Our wedding was at 4 p.m. So you were kind of sobered up by then, ish. Kind of, sort of. Probably still tripping on something.
I wasn't on. I think
you didn't trip on the carpet though.
I think my declaration was I think it counted.
It counted?
It counted.
You were of sober mind enough to...
What did you make me think about?
Those 12 hours of sobering up?
Here is the ultimate... What did you say? Irony. My grandfather, out of the war, he started businesses. One of the first businesses he started was making donuts. He was a chef in the army.
Your grandfather.
My grandfather.
Yes. And
Percy.
What did he want to do? His wife wanted to open a coffee shop,
donut
and sell
shop.
Donuts, and they didn't do it.
No, he sold donuts door to door, and then they started selling eggs, and then it grew into a butcher shop and a grocery store, and then so then when we came to Canada, we took over the by then it was a furniture store and a motel. And after all of that left, and we came to here, right now on that site in Sudbury
is a Tim
Hortons. Donuts and coffee.
If
it's incredible.
They had gone with the coffee shop idea, Tim Hortons could have been called
Percy's. Oh my goodness. Imagine Percy's everywhere.
Or Rubies Cafe.
And I can tell these stories because I believe that I was my grandfather's favorite child, because I think I had something in me that I just wanted to be a part of something, and he had so much stuff going on, and he would fill his furniture store by going to auctions and buying trailers, like 53-foot trailers, and bringing them back. So then I had to be able to sort that. Anyway, carry on.
The best grandparents.
Can I say one more story?
The best grandparents have somehow managed to let every grandchild believe that they are the favorite.
That could be true. But I think my family members would all agree with me. So my name was Jonathan. He couldn't say Jonathan. So Jonathan, because they're German or Mennonite. Yes, and German. So what he would do is that he would have the block of Neapolitan ice cream, and he would say, Jonathan, what flavor do you want? It's not a scoop. He cuts it into 3. So I get to pick a flavor. What was my flavor?
Chocolate every time.
Chocolate every time.
Your poor brother. All right.
Here we go. We are going to do our contemplative meditation, where we take an idea out of a reading. This is Life in Recovery, the codependent, the excitaholic, the adrenaline addict. And I'm just a plain, simple substance abuse guy.
Who destroyed everyone's life.
Yeah, but you needed it.
I thrived on it.
You used me for your adrenaline.
I did.
All right, so we're going to take an idea out of this and carry it through the day and let God speak to you about it. Here we go, November the 5th. Once there was a very nice girl whose neighbor told her about Al-Anon and the 12-step program. The girl was very proud and only reluctantly admitted that her brother was wrecking the family by his excessive drinking. She went to a few meetings, but always hesitated when her neighbor invited her. It seemed this very nice girl felt a little above the kind of people who came to talk about their drunken relatives. But the neighbor, a dedicated Al-Anon, realized that she had not yet learned the importance of humility in coping with life's problems. She would criticize the way people talked at meetings, commented that some of them were uneducated and used faulty grammar, and so on and so on. Finally, after working with her patiently, the neighbor managed to convince her that the most important thing about the program was the way we help each other through love and mutual concern for each other's problems. And the most important way to get that help was to listen to what is said and not how it is said. Listening to what is said and not how it's said.
Sorry.
One day, the neighbor who read the Bible each morning and evening came across a paragraph that she thought would be helpful, and it was. This is what it said. Hold on to your seatbelts. Put your helmets on. This is what the Bible reading said. What do you think it said? There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world, and none of them is without significance. This is from the 14th chapter of 1 Corinthians, verse 10. Love. Made it clear to the girl that she would find answers from uncritical listening, and she did. Oh, this is a beautiful girl. We grow in humility. I come into recovery as a critic. They could do this better. They could have a better program. The food could be better.
I've never heard anyone start at meetings and say, oh, finally, I've found my home. These are my, this is so comfortable. I just love it here.
The temperature is perfect. The coffee is absolutely gorgeous. Good job. Everybody has made this perfect for me.
This is exactly what I needed.
My friend Connor was sharing at Ashes to Rubies last Saturday, and he did a song at the end, and a fantastic song that he just wrote, and he got up there and he says, I've only memorized like 50 maybe 75%
yeah.
of it. And he goes, I'm just going to do my best. And when I run out, I run out. And he goes, my sponsor said that when you're humiliated, you become humble. And I thought of that,
really
like,
good.
how do I act in humility? I stopped being the critic. I stopped thinking that it could be better. Like, I always think of critics, like, what qualification do you need to be a critic, especially at a 12-step meeting or at a church meeting? Or
so my critical voice did help me along a little bit. I remember going to Al-Anon and sitting in a room with like 10 people going around the circle. They're sharing. And I remember getting to a moment of like, I am not going to be like these women. They are 70 years old and tiptoeing around an alcoholic. And I was super critical. I was super judgmental. I was like, oh no. I mean, I'm like not even 30. And I'm like, oh, this is not going to be my life. So that did motivate me to make change. I see how judgmental I was. I can see how judgmental I was because I cannot determine what anybody should do in their relationship, whether they should stay in the relationship, leave the relationship. Like that, giving that kind of advice is not helpful because I didn't listen to anybody else. I needed that voice to come from
inside. And that's why it takes some of us longer to get sober than others.
But for me, like being willing to listen, and then I did become willing to listen. And I remember like in early, like coming out of our chaos days, like early sobriety days, going to churches and going to seminars and going to marriage conferences and like wanting to just like criticize everything, wanting to roll my eyes. But I remember for some reason, I just started saying like, I can learn something here. Like one thing, there can be one thing that I come out of here that's going to be valuable for me. And so I was pretty much in such a desperate place that I was willing to go anywhere and everywhere because I needed a different life. Like I need a different life or I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to kill you. Like I think it started with, I was going to kill you. I needed a different life so badly. And so it was like, everywhere I go, and I need to go everywhere possible
because there's no other option.
I have to learn something, take something away. And
see, I can flip flop. I can be the critic of going like, ugh, and then I can be, not so humble, but I can just listen and get something out of lots of things that I actually miss. That I like. Sometimes there's stuff that I shouldn't be listening to. Like that's kind of even like maybe not a great teaching, but like I feel like I can get a lot out of it. Like I get stuff out of it. So I think like I can flip flop of like my one mentor used to tell me that it's all about, you get a meal, you're presented with this, whatever it is, whether you're going to a meeting or a church service or a Bible study. And it's like, sometimes there's fish there. It's a fish meal and you just got to spit out the bones. And sometimes he goes, I've eaten a lot of meals with a lot of bones. And you just put them on the side and maybe that's not the fellowship that you're really a part of, but you can still get something out of anything.
I feel like the key to growing in humility, one simple key is listening. And I know like in my early years, I just wanted to talk. I had so much inside. I had so much pain. I just wanted to get it out.
And I think humility, especially working one-on-one with people, we're not trying to solve all their problems.
Yeah.
And you had said that earlier, and I had said that I had a situation this week where I just listened. And sometimes that's really hard. But I'm not here to be God for anybody or to anybody. And there's a lot of people that we work with that have money problems and social problems and kid problems and payment problems. And it's like, I'm not here to solve your problems, but I'm here to take you to one that can. And so when you get the Spirit of God to lead you and to encourage you and to grow you, then he's going to solve all of your problems. And I'm convinced of that.
Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And
how
do we walk in humility? How do we be listeners and not critiquers? How do we, and what did Megan say? It can be listen to what it says and not how it's said. That's a good shuffling of my mind of how I listen. All right. Much love. Keep the peace. Be of good behavior. And we will see you hopefully this weekend or Monday. Take care. Bye.